shakeleti love. This love when I wanna get another one, I go take and do waiting I love, waiting you love, oh. No be waiting I love, oh. Waiting I love, I go do and with all my heart, oh. Go no be vodka, Mr. Money Changer. But when I know I know the ways that Mr. I want to hear what the people they love. Want to get a shakeleti love. This love when I wanna get another one, I go take and do waiting I love, waiting you love, oh. No be waiting I love, oh. Waiting I love, I go do and with all my heart, oh. Go no be vodka, Mr. Money Changer. But when I know the ways that Mr. I want to hear what the people they love. Want to get a shakeleti love. This love when I wanna get another one, I go take and do waiting I love, waiting you love, oh. No be waiting I love, oh. Waiting I love, I go do and with all my heart, oh. Go no be vodka, Mr. Money Changer. But when I know the ways that Mr. I want to hear what the people they love. Want to get
Bella Fertility Foundation presents its annual charity dinner ball in aid of fertility treatment and L&D maternity ward, which will be held on the 7th of October 2023 from 5 p.m. to 2 a.m. at the Luton Chiltern Hotel. The event will be hosted by Jojo Emmanuel Lawson and Mami Serwa II. Special performances on the night by Joy and G Melodies, Harps Chorale, Fresh Andy and KK Mensa. DJ Chores will be keeping you on your feet all night long. Your red carpet reception will be hosted by Saxman Justin. There'll be delicious food served by Arms Catering Services, cocktails served by Brewery Exotic Cocktails, and dessert served by I Sugarcoat Everything. Tickets are £50 for standard and £70 for VIP and can be purchased at www.angelscommunities.org, or you can contact Nana on 077 8885 5164. It's going to be a night to remember. See you there.
Our strength in unity, from vision to victory, the NDC shall lead. Stable Democrat, Ghana, our strength in unity. It's our land. Victory! It's our land. JJ is a winner. Arise for Ghana, of the truck of the land. When and secure future, people love our God. From victory to victory, the NDC Stable Democrat. Ghana, I was meant to unity from billion to billion. The NDC challenge. Stable Democrat.
Thank you. Good evening to all our cherished viewers, and thank you to all our listeners, either on Facebook or on YouTube or wherever you are actually watching us, all across the UK and other parts of the world. We just want to take this opportunity to welcome everybody to tonight's show. And for me, your moderator tonight is Alfred Mwene, and my co-moderator will be joining me shortly, Sankofa. I just want to say on behalf of Africa TV, Hit Africa TV, that you are warmly welcome, and especially our comrades who are here tonight to be able to share their views with us as usual, give us that sort of honest interactions and an opportunity to be able to learn more about them. It is also important for me to take this opportunity to say a really huge thank you to all our organizers and our production team who have done fantastic work in the last couple of days and putting all of this together. It is not a very easy thing, but you know what it is. They say when we are dreaming big, then we will surely get to where we want to. So I just want to say, well done to all of them for what they have done so far. What can I say? I mean, it's going to be another, fabulous show, just as it was last week. You will all agree with me that last week was absolutely brilliant, and we had loads and loads of you commenting on the show and saying lots of good things. We just want to say thank you for all those comments. It means a lot. I mean, it is a learning curve. We are going to be able to work together, and then we should be able to live our chapter where we want it to be. So yes, it is going to be another really, really good show where our aspirants will be given an opportunity to touch base with all their members across the UK. And it is also an opportunity for you, whoever is viewing, whether on Facebook or on YouTube. It is important for you to be able to get in touch and then learn more about these aspirants and what they have. That makes them the right choice for lifting our chapter to the next level. Just to say, tonight also we have the second versions of our Q&A session. So last week we had the first half of the year contestant. It wasn't in any particular order. It was just because we had to give everybody a really good opportunity to be able to express themselves. So it was a matter of just having the split and then making sure everybody is able to come and interact with you very well. What can I say? So here you are this evening, just to give you a little bit of who is on the show. So tonight we are going to be having Kofi Adoli, who is an aspirant for the secretary position. We will also be having Beatrice Asante, who is a vice chair, aspiring for vice chair, and we'll be doing that with Seth Kweku Anderson, who is also currently aspiring for vice chair as well. We also have tonight on the show Alfred Freddy Kotogwo, who would be aspiring for our youth organizer. Then we have Roger Kumla Boko, who is also going to be speaking to you to give him the nod to be able to lead as a chapter treasurer in the future. Then also we have on the show as well would be Theo Sapong, popularly known as Kofi, and Deputy Youth Organizer Aspirant. And we have Awal Zibrim, who, just to say, Gifty, who was supposed to be on the show as well, Gifty Agbenu, if I get that right. But she does send her apologies for some reason. She couldn't be able to be here with us tonight, but that then gives an opportunity to Awal Zibrim to be able to comment and interact with you viewers as well. So that's who we have on the line on the lineup, and I can tell you it will be as usual, and fireworks. People, this is it. we are getting some sort of, I think, if all things are going on well, the elections is around the corner. So it couldn't have been a better time for anybody to come on the show and be able to, for the last time, and probably on a really important platform like HYT TV, to be able to speak to you and speak truth to the voters who are the ultimate sort of call it judges at the end of the day. I just want, I've seen my co-moderator is on the show. Welcome, Sankofa.
Thank you so much. Please
Yeah,
forgive me, I'm late. And
no,
I do
that's fine.
apologize for viewers and all comrades
Yes.
to forgive me. I was running slightly late into the program. How are you,
No, that's
Alfred?
absolutely. Yes, I'm very well, thank you. I was just telling our viewers out there how brilliant it was last week, and we just hope tonight is even going to be another opportunity to allow our aspirants to be able to speak to them. And if I don't know, but last week my experience was that the viewers actually they did brilliantly well, especially the kind of comments that were coming on the platform, the questions that were put before our aspirants were absolutely on point. And that is what you want, because for me it's just about asking them the questions that brings out that leadership qualities that they have in them, isn't it? And so it's
Yes.
a show for you, the listeners, you, the viewers. It is for you. Ask the questions. And like I said, it is a decent platform. We're not here to victimize and we're not here to kind of like, punch people and then push them to the wall that makes them feel uncomfortable. It's about making sure you ask the question that will bring out the best man at the end of the day. And that's what we're going to be doing tonight. So yes, I'm really excited this evening, and I just would wait. I can't wait to see what would be, put out there by these our aspirants. But I know they will do a great job. Over to you, Sankofa. You've just joined us.
All right. Thank you so much. It's been another Sunday, as we promised last week that we'll be bringing the program. I had a lot of feedback, even from people I know, even in Accra. And they are very happy the way we conduct things here. And I think it is because we have the opportunity to blend and see debates live and how they go. And of course, the ultimate reason why we're organizing this is to put our foot very well. And when we put our foot on a very sound footing, we will be able to get into office. We'll be able to put things where get into office 2024, and how far Ghana has been deteriorating. We try and rescue it. I have a prominent member of the MPP who called me. In fact, actually, he didn't mind if I mention his name. He's the former first vice in Kumasi Sinche. And I was speaking to him, and he said, Danso, mo background, mo adwuma pa. And it's true. It's
Absolutely.
true. It's
Yes.
true. And then this will come, and then this will have a lot of work to do. But if we're able to do it meaningfully and well organized in our own home, it tells you that we should be able to. So I was in Asin North. During the by-election, and looking at the way things were organized, and I was thinking, oh, I wish that the elections were organized, the main elections are organized quite differently, like the way we organized it before. And if I had my way, I would have even thought that the parliamentary election should go first, then there will be another day for the presidential one. Because when it's just single, it's so easy to monitor. But I was thinking in my head on the day when we have 275 constituencies, and I've been telling people that I get opportunity to speak to, especially in Accra, that some of the parliamentary aspirants who just follow theirs, and when they get their results, they go to sleep, and our flag bearer, our candidate, will be losing, or they'll be people will be turning away. These are some of the things that we have to look at it. Because Asinov, no stone was left. And I think what happened at Asinov should cut across the remaining 274 constituencies.
Absolutely.
Even the constituencies that we are very sure that we are going to win, it should cut across. and limited voting exercise, we have to just go into it. It is some of these things that we left. That is why, as we speak, Hohoi has fallen to them. They didn't win Hohoi. They were passing people. Amewu was passing people. We all saw it. Amewu was passing people, and they did those gerrymandering and cut some of the constituency off and all that. We have to put our foot down. But the signs that I'm seeing now has really proven that we are ready. The signs that I'm seeing now. Absolutely. So last week was fantastic. I believe this week is even going to be more fantastic. By the way, you look very good in your outfit.
Oh, and you today we swapped.
Where do you get from?
This one, honestly, my missus got it for me when she went to Ghana last year. So I have no clue.
That's brilliant. You thank her. You thank her. It's very beautiful.
Yes, and you as well. I like that food. It's great.
Thanks. I got this one from Tamale, and this is almost 8 years ago. Yeah.
Can you even? I was in Tamale, years back. I think some 2002. So yeah, I know.
I was there 3 months ago.
Oh yeah, it's a good experience, but I know it is. I mean, those are the things when you go out there and you have the conversations with people who watched the show last week. It just tells you that sometimes it is okay to sort of like feel that these are shows that we are putting out there as a start. You do have the sort of like not sure, I don't know what things are going to look like, but in the end, if we don't strive for what is, what you think might not be achievable, if you don't strive for it, it will never come to pass. And for me, everybody out there, we just saying, look, this is our show. This is for us. We have a platform now. We have a voice. We can really speak, truth to power through this channel. You can take the opportunity. So if we are asking Aspirants to come in and speak, this is the beginning. But I think this show is going to be here for a very long time. And going into 2024, nobody should be telling us that we need a bigger voice, because that is the only way we're going to penetrate through the governance of the seat of Nana Addo Dankwa. You can't get through those people if you don't have a bigger platform and a voice to be able to pierce them where it hurts. So for me, it's a good opportunity, and we just see what will happen, and then the many things that are yet to happen, and I'm very positive it will be great. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. Since I was late, I don't know if you have sent apologies through.
I did. I have already
done
that. Yes. But like I've always said, this is UK. Sometimes the 5 minutes late, you get caught up in things that you don't really expect. But it's good you're here, and we're very grateful to have you on the show. We're just waiting to have, I think, the first 2 aspirants who should be coming on the show, and I can see Freddie is just sorting himself out. And Kofi is here. Hello, Theo.
It was as I looked.
Yes, sir. How are you?
I can't complain, boss.
You see, I know. You see that that barbecue show, you still didn't give me that chicken leg, and I'm so.
I beg. I have a special barbecue thing for you. I beg.
Now you are on this show. You are telling me you have a special.
I'll organize nice one. Give you special for you. I have something special for you.
Master, you can't bribe me.
I promise.
It'd be hard to bribe me, so.
I promise. I'm going to say
that's absolutely fine. Hello, Freddie. You're welcome to the show. Freddie, you are either on mute. Can you check and unmute yourself? I can see your mouth is moving, but we can't really hear anything. Freddie, you still on mute? I can see your microphone is on mute. Do check. There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, absolutely. Loud and clear.
Precisely. Thank you so much. Hey,
no,
thank you,
welcome,
Mr. Theophilus. How are you?
I'm not going to mind you.
Now, let me just say this very quickly. I think last week when we did the post-mort, one of the things that came out very quickly was, when we paired Rebecca and I think it was Isabella, a couple of people were a little bit confused, thinking the two of them were going against each other. And I know, but so we just wanted to make sure. I think, Freddie, you going for the youth organizer position, and you are going for the deputy youth, isn't it? Yeah, so I just wanted to make it very clear so that our viewers know that what we're doing is just giving you the platform to speak. It's not necessarily coming to a kind of like debate between yourselves. So it's just giving you that opportunity to be able to speak to our viewers. And then at the end of the day, like we did last week, they simply will be asking you questions, and then we will see what you have to offer them. So the show is usually, it will run for 10 minutes uninterrupted. The only time you probably will hear me or Sankofa speak is when it's just about a minute or two, and we will kind of like alert you that your time is about to end. And then at the end of that session, we will allow the other candidate to also flow for 10 minutes uninterrupted. And then we will then be able to ask you questions from the viewers. Hopefully, if they have anything to tell you. If they don't have questions for you, you probably have already gotten them where you want to get them to. So absolutely. So Freddie, are you ready to stroll for us? If you're more than happy to start for us, I will give you the floor now, and then you can take it away if you want, whatever you want.
Yeah, Suzuza. I rise for Ghana, a patron of the land, for weather and secure future. Development our God, from vision to victory, the NDC shall lead. Able Democrat, Ghana, our strength in unity, from vision to victory, the end.
Yeah, Freddie, you are on.
Yeah, Freddie, you have the floor. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, members, and thank you. First of all, we thank God for giving us life, and thanks all the organizers, the branch organizers, and the moderators for such a program, giving us the opportunity to share ourselves and share our messages to the good people of the UK and Ireland chapter. And all that we are trying to do is to also wedge forward as a team and rescue power from the MPP so that we can save our country 2024. My name is Alfred Freddy Kotobo, the current chapter youth organizer for NDC UK and Ireland, an engineer by profession, as electrical engineer by profession. I'm putting myself forward again to contest to be retained as the chapter youth organizer. Why am I doing this? Every leader, when he takes over, you make sure that whatever was left, you build upon it, you set up a good foundation with your vision, and set up the platform for the next generations to come. When I took over as a youth organizer for NDC UK Ireland Chapter, there are so many achievements that under my leadership I've been able to achieve. One of the greatest achievements in the history of the party, in fact, in the diaspora itself, since we formed the NDC in 1993, was the establishment of the team in the diaspora, first ever in the history. Now, why did I do this? Because you see, we have a situation, or we have a system whereby almost 4,000 Ghanaians travel to UK, travel to diaspora. By UK is 4,000, whether they are coming in for masters, whether they are coming in for a degree, or whether if they come to this country on their own, they still go to school and study. So as a youth leader, How can I be able to get them on board to join the party and help in nation building? That's why with my team, we established this thing. This thing was something that I decided to do all the way back in 2018. Of course, we were able to achieve that thing. Now we have a team coordinator, we have a link recruiting more members, recruiting lecturers, students, and patrons of the party because we need to get them on board in nation building. Now, when I took over again, there's something that we call the multi-system recruitment drive. We all know that ROPA is looming in, so as an organizer, as a youth organizer, majority of those people here in the UK are youth. So as a leader, what did I do? I brought up this multi-system recruitment drive. And what it's all about? It's about making sure that we recruit Ghanaian youth in the strategic places. So with my team during the youth meeting that I held in 2019, the idea of recruiting Ghanaians at this flashpoint like the Ghana party in the park came up. So as a leader, we pick it on board. And we've done the first one, that's 2019. We're able to get 66 people. And just recently in 2023, we were able to get 65 people. Not only that, I was able to organize what we call the youth and the youth and the labor wing together. It's a program that I'm running because you see, every year the national comes here for labor conference in order to forge forward between the parties because we are linked together or we are affiliated together or we share some common goals together. So as a youth leader, what am I trying to do? I'm trying to get them on board. We share ideas. We build upon ourselves. Today we have one of our own, Beneta Lassie, who is a secretary for Socialist International. Labour Party is part of the Socialist International. NDC is part of the Socialist International. Lassie was the deputy EC regional youth organizer. Today, she is the secretary. So, as a youth leader, if you have a vision, you bring all these people on board with your youth organizers. You understand? I've been able to put up strategic places for recruiting Ghanaians in various places like the barbering shop, like the Ghanaian restaurant, and all those places because we are poised up for ROPA when ROPA comes in. Also, during the launch of the 10, we had a fundraising that we did that we raised like £4,000, and that was one of the highest among it. We also went to recruiting people way back in Scotland. We did that in Sheffield. We did that in Hull. We did that in Luton. We did that in almost all the branches with the vision of recruiting more youth and students into the party. Myself and the women organizers, myself, my deputy Kofi Ampoma, with Mary Gardner and Madam Stone, we drove to Scotland to get the scholarships branch on board, and we did successfully. Not only that, we've been able to visit most of the branches. Now, if you look at what we've been able to do as a team, because you see, per the constitution says the youth is in charge of the youth, the women in charge of the women, and the organizer is the field marshal. But when you put the constitution in the formation, we all work together as a team because you're all organizers and it's very strategic. And as a team, we also work together with all my youth organizers, with the women organizers, and the organizers as well. Because if without them, we can't work in isolation. Even if you bring your idea as a youth organizer, this is what I want to do. You still have to work with the organizers. Still have to lay it up on your executive. So team building or team spirit is something that I really carry as a leader. And as a leader, you inspire your followers to join you as well. When I was a South London youth organizer, I did that marvelously. And today we are all. And to be honest with you, with all my youth organizers, the first thing I do, or the first thing I always do when I took over in 2018, that I will do it again, is that we have a meeting with all the youth organizers, including the deputy youth organizer of the chapter, and tell them that they should bring whatever they want to achieve, or they should bring their vision, so that as a youth leader, I help them. Fozia Sorogo, for instance, brought up sending the items to Ghana. Ibrahim did the same thing. And I'll do that again. You allow them to bring their vision, and as a youth leader, you support them. And the thing that you think should come to the chapter, you support them. So that's what I've been doing. Now, if you look at my manifesto of what I want to achieve, Now, the thing as we speak now is expanding. So, as a leader with a vision, what do I need to do? I need to expand it. But the system in Ghana, as compared to the UK, is different from us. here in UK. So what am I trying to do? With my youth organizers, we are coming up with what we call the zonal marking. The zonal marking has to do England, Scotland, Northern Ireland, and Wales. See, we identify all those universities, especially the ones that has majority of Ghanaians in there, so that we can zoom them in, identify them. Because if you have a student here in South Bank, you finish 1 year, there's no student there, has to go to another student. So that's why we are coming up with zooming in them so that we can expand it. It has to do with capacity building, getting them on board. They have various fields. Some are engineers, some are doctors. What are you trying to do? You get them on board so that they can help the party itself. So we expanded very, very, very well. My boss Pablo, we had a framework that we submitted to the national. I hope now after the elections and everything, I'll push for it to come so that the framework of it will be implemented as well. Now, if you look at the mobilization, youth mobilization, what do we do with youth mobilization? Youth mobilization has to do with capacity building, building them, whether intellectually or building them in various capacities like entrepreneurship and all those things. So, youth capacity or youth mobilization is in there, something that is really, really dear to my heart because when you recruit the person into the party, what is the person benefiting? What is the person contributing? Now, if you look at our manifesto in 2020, President Mahama talked about a youth ministry. Now, this youth ministry is a very, very fantastic idea because it allows us, the youth, to come up with various policies, expanding like the youth entrepreneurship scheme and the years program and everything. So we build them on board, getting them entrepreneurship, building them, getting various programs. Like, for instance, most of we the youth probably does not know that they can set up a business. For instance, my brother Theophilus could be an example. He has set up his various capacity, his chef, and his in fact he has built his company. Such a youth, for instance, we need people to teach us, to train us that they can also set up those business. And even if you set up the business, what is the opportunity there for you? Understand? So we'll be organizing programs like that to bring those people on board, to teach us, train us, and give us the opportunity as well. Now, if you look at the youth mobilization that I'm talking about, what I want to do, or what I will do as a youth leader with my youth organizers, we will identify them and they will bring up policies. Like, for instance, as an engineer, what do you think can be done in the next 10 years? What do you think should be done in the energy sector, in our legal sector, in our sports industry? And as a youth leader, I need to carry that forward all the way to Accra. That's what a leader does. You have to inspire them. You have to bring them on board. You understand? If you look at another program that I want to come up with, it's called the youth summit. Now, this youth summit and seminar might seem like a similar thing, but you see, we have a system whereby you can do all those things, but expanding your wing all the way to our brothers in the diaspora, our brothers in Ghana as well. So what I'm trying to do, I'll organize the biggest youth summit here here in Europe. As a matter of fact, even in the diaspora. I was in Amsterdam. One of the reasons why I went to Amsterdam was this of my vision, because they are doing it. They are organizing an European conference of which it comprises all the diaspora. So this is what I want to do. So I went there to see. I'll organize that thing, and it has already been planned to be done in one of the universities. I've spoken to some of the resource people that I could get, because that is the opportunity.
Run up in 2 minutes for me, please.
Now, I'm talking about the last one that I'm talking about is a good flight to Ghana. Although I'll bring up a fund for the youth to help them in facilitating the ideas and their policies all the way back in the branches as well. I'm talking about the good flight. You see, I suggested that to the previous executive, they hold up on it, and they tried their best. In our administration, COVID affected us. But now, as a leader, if I win again, which I will definitely win by the grace of God, I will organize a group flight. Now, it's the same Ghanaians that sit in a plane to go to Ghana all the time. So what do? You negotiate the prices. That look, we have this group of people that are going to Ghana. So because of 2024 election, that's what I will do to energize and mobilize people and also facilitate this group flight to Ghana so that people will go and vote. There are so many that I will do, and there are so many that I want to do. I'm pleading and I'm edging and I'm I'm seeking the support of the UK and Ireland members that they should retain me as a youth organizer again. Because since I took over, there's so many things that I've been doing. And to be honest with you, I've now become a resource person to our brothers in the diaspora for expanding 10. And I have a very good working relationship with our regional youth organizers, constituency youth organizers, and the national youth organizers all the way back in Ghana. So I think it's a big thing that we should be proud of, that the first ever 10 was established here in the UK under my leadership as a youth organizer. So I'm pleading and I'm seeking the support of the UK and Ireland members that they should vote for me. And my name is Alfred Freddy Kotovo, the current chapter youth organizer seeking to be retained again. Thank you. God bless you.
Wow. Right. That was Freddie for you. Thank you very much, Freddie, for that 10 minutes presentation. Like I've said, I'll just urge our viewers to be a little bit patient for us. We will give Theo the opportunity to present to you, and then at the end we will have those questions taken up. So if you have any question you want to ask, could you please make sure you are typing them up? If you want to send them directly to the producer, the email was pre-circulated earlier on, so you can be able to do that as soon as possible. So with much ado, I will ask Theo, if I think if you have a
me el lezato na me kase muntie ne ye o penipa ba ko a obetimi ama NDC afa ne ntoma perfect true any abrochimemu a euro precisely a me pacho bibiri eye abrante chief Sapon aka Kofi Mahama. Yes, osre omo Ireland eso omo ntono so aba UK ne Ireland chapter, so omo ntono so aba no be deputy youth organizer of the National Democratic Congress. Papa Nyamisha no nya ne kase nipa ba kwa metimi de meti ato ama no se odo NDC amanyoko ne pa we vibrant and vision oriented unifier, the great Kofi Mahama. Abrante Chief Sapon, God bless you so much. You see, organization is impossible unless those who know the laws of harmony lays the foundation. And it's only the chewing stick that know the secret of the mouth. Someone who was sold an old lady before knows the place of an old man. Me, the world greatest philosopher El Lezato, I endorsed Chief Sapon, aka Kofi Mahama, as deputy youth organizer at UK and Ireland chapter of the NDC.
For Ireland UK chapter, vote Chief Sapon, aka Kofi Mahama, for deputy youth organizer.
Thank you very much for such a wonderful introduction by the greatest philosopher, El Lezato, my own boy. And I want to say thank you very much, senior commerce and moderators. This is a very wonderful platform you guys have given us for us to express or to tell our ability, or to tell the great NDC, the people watching us and listening to us, what we can do in order to help bring John Dramani Mahama back to power come 2024. My name is Chief Sapon. I'm a fiber optic engineer by profession and a chef. Is it okay? I always say I'm an engineer by profession and a chef by passion. But lately, my last working place was Virgin Media. But I'm no longer there. I'm doing my own business now, as my brother Freddie said. I'm running my own catering business at the moment. So yeah, I'm married and have two wonderful kids, Sally and Ozara, who are my backing vocalists here right now as I'm speaking. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Why are we here? We are here to let our members know our intention for winning 2024 election. We are here for the members to know, we are here to let everyone, especially our listeners and NDC as a whole, know our intention. I want to come forward as a deputy youth organizer for the NDC. Can you hear me, please? My listening is cracking. Can you hear me?
Yes, you are fine, Kofi. Absolutely. You're on mute now. Can you unmute yourself? Theophilus, can you unmute yourself, please? We can't hear you. Your microphone is not on.
Can you hear me?
I can. Be back on. Thank you
okay.
very much.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, yeah. So where was I? Okay, so yeah, as I was saying, yeah, I speak for the voiceless. I believe in the youth, and I present myself. In fact, we've done it before. We've been doing it for ages. I've not officially held any position in the NDC before, but we've done a lot of things. Like, for instance, way back in the year 2012, some of us, with our own resources, we gathered, mobilized people going around with our own cars, branded cars and everything, going around advocating, campaigning for the great NDC, blah, blah, blah. And we actually saw results and brought the NDC to power. And we are here back in the UK. And my main vision.
Theophilus, you are muted again. Sorry. Yeah, that's fine. You're back on.
I think you're back on.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, the reason why I want, sorry for I'm having issue with this thing just breaking up and down here. Yeah, and my main vision, yeah, is to help the NDC come to power 2024. And how do I do this? I'm a very good team player. I'm a unifier. I have the ability to bring people together. Typical example, in when the South London organized our beach program recently, it was in collaboration with the Telemo. Telemo did not collaborate with us, but immediately we got there, I found ways and means of talking to them to merge us together for us to look at if the program was organized together with the Telemo group of people. And it became a very wonderful program. That is some of the ability I carry, to be able to merge people, bringing people together. I'm a unifier. And I've been with the...
You muted again, Kofi. I think you might have to keep an eye on your microphone. It's still not on. Still not on? Sorry. Yeah, that's fine. It's okay now. We're back on.
Can you hear me?
Yes, absolutely fine.
Yes, if you speak now, we can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, you're good to go. You're good to go, Kofi.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, I believe, and as Freddie said, Freddie, thank you for the acknowledgement as long as my business is concerned. I've got a very good relationship with the current youth organizer, Freddie Kotogbo. We have that flow, we have that blend, we have that gel, and I believe I can really work with him, knowing very well he's going to sail through, and I'm definitely going to sail through. Yeah, so the whole idea of my intention to come up.
Oh dear. We muted again, Kofi. You really have a lot to tell us, but your microphone is not giving you that opportunity. Just work on the microphone for us. I know.
No, it's not. Everything else is fine except the microphone.
Yes.
Otherwise, his camera is on. Everything is fine. Can
Your
you hear
face is
us?
looking great. We can see you. We can see your smiles. We just can't hear you. We can't hear you. Just check the microphone for us, Kofi. Microphone still muted. Yeah, it's back on.
If I went to check, you went to one. Yes, Baba. The meeting is a laptop. Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you again.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah. So my brother Sankofa said something. Yeah, about his colleague saying, what's the name? Coming back of John Mahama will be very difficult. Yeah, I agree. Why do I agree?
No, it's off again. Your microphone is off again. Kofi, we can hear you. Hello, Kofi, we can't hear you. Can you check your microphone for me? Right. Yeah, your microphone is still not on. Right, what can I? Yeah, there you go. You're back on. You're back on.
If I did, then I enter a human straight, right? You did a laptop problem.
It's fine now. We can hear you.
I'm saying, but still. Can
You're
you hear me now?
Yes.
We can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. So I was emphasizing on what my.
Oh dear. Right, it's off again.
If you have unmuted yourself, watch your hands probably touching something as well.
I just have to apologize to our viewers out there. That's technology age for us. I think Kofi is really struggling with his microphone. And these are some of the things. I just hope Kofi is able to work on. Kofi, can you work on your microphone whilst I'm just speaking to our listeners? Once you are, I will give you an extra 2 minutes to just round up when you are back on. But it's one of those things really difficult. I can see Kofi's got a lot of things, information to give us. He wants to share with us what he intends to do, his vision out there, and that is what this party is for. We want to hear those visions. We want to see who the good man is, who is a great man would be at the end of the show. But sometimes technology is a pain, if you know what it is. Even though in our own phone, sometimes you can have the slightest hitch can mess you up for the rest of your day. But I just hope Kofi is able to bounce back, and then we'll give him just an extra 2 minutes to be able to hold this together. Yes, Sankofa, I'm not sure if you've been there before, but I have. Especially during the days of Zoom. Yeah, Kofi, you are back on.
Yes, many times.
I know.
We can hear you, man.
We can hear you.
I'm opening a new laptop. Okay. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Let me just. Okay. Oh,
so I'll just give you. I know it's been really, really difficult for you, Kofi. What I'll do is I'll just give you an extra 3 minutes, because that means we have to cut our question time. We have to reduce it drastically. I'll just give it just 3 minutes. Just wrap it up for me, please. Oh dear. There you go. It's up again. I'm giving you 3 minutes to wrap up. Kofi, I can't hear a thing. Hello, Kofi. Can you hear me?
Your mic is off. Kofi, check your mic.
I don't think he can hear us, so that's the problem. He can't hear us either. It's gone off. I can't hear you. Can't hear you. It's just your mic is muted again. It's either the gadget you're using, your device. Yes, there you are. You're back on. If you just wrap it up for me, 1 minute. Just 1 minute, Kofi.
No, he doesn't seem to hear us now.
Yes.
Can you hear us?
Can you hear us?
Still, I'm saying about.
Okay.
My mean, far away and she mom's here.
Hello, Kofi. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yes, just 1 minute for you. Just wrap it up. Sorry about this.
Sorry, quick one. I've got the energy. I've got whatever it takes. And as I was saying, sorry, I've missed so many.
No chance. Okay. So, I mean, our listeners, I'm really sorry that, like we said, technology can give us a really huge hitch. What can I say? And this is any of us can be in that particular situation where you are given a huge platform to be able to reach the people out there, and you just know you have so much to say, but unfortunately, this is what we get, isn't it? I know Kofi was about to tell us that he's got the energy, and seeing him, of course, I mean, looking at how he was throwing his arms there, that's a lot of energy. So I do believe him. He's got a lot of energy, and he has what it takes. I think those were the words he wanted to put out there for us. But hopefully, when we have some questions and he can pick them up, then absolutely fine. Sankofa, we probably would need to run this. We will give the viewers some chance to ask some few. I've seen some few questions on the chat box. We might just take one or two, and hopefully Freddie will be able to respond to them. If Kofi comes back, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Do you want me to go for it, or you have the questions in front of you?
Please go first.
Okay, that's fine. I think the first, Freddie, this is coming from Karel. Is it Poboski? And Karel is saying, I want to ask my boss, Freddie, concerning the group flight system. Will it be those coming to Ghana or both? As an engineer, Ghana have a lot. Can
you hear me, please?
Yes, Kofi, I can hear you. What we will do is, sorry about that. I know it is a pain. Sorry, Kofi. It's really painful. What we will do is, if you just bear with me, I'm just about to ask some few questions. Probably those questions will come your way, and in the course of answering them, you can just slip in your last message for the people as well. Okay, so just give me 1 second.
I can still hear you.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. So I was just in the process of reading a question for Freddie, and that question is coming from Karel Poboski. He says, I want to ask my boss, Freddie, concerning the group flight system. Will it be those coming to Ghana or both? To us, engineer Ghana have a lot of resources, but its utilization is problematic. What will you do?
Okay, sorry. Let me take the second one. As an engineer, everything that we do assessment before even end up to be. Yes, indeed, you are right. We have so much resources, and utilization has become a problem because when you look on our field, for instance, we have so much. So what as a youth organizer or as an engineer, what do I suggest? First of all, identification of that resources itself. The utilization, the usefulness of that resources, training of those individuals. Thirdly, education. Now, I always say that we have practical engineers and we have academic engineers. Now, the academic engineers probably are those who have gone to the school, get a degree on this and this. And the practical engineers are those people that we, artisans that we see that they are not, like for instance, the welders and all those things. But those people has to be identified and be given the opportunity through TVET, Technical Vocational Education Training, TVET. Now, we have this here in our country whereby TVET is very, very common. We do that in our colleges and our universities. So if you look at the manifesto that President Mahama presented in 2020, that's a free TVET education, and you popping into various resources. Now, we say gold. We all think that gold is just for our jewelries and everything. But gold can be used for a different thing more than than jewelry itself. You look at our coal, for instance, so much. I mean, we have so much resources, but the utilization of it is very, very, very limited. So, as an engineer, what I suggest is training, identification of this, and also bring up various policies. That's why through my youth mobilization, there's a space whereby all these suggestions will be carried, will be brought together and be carried to the appropriate quarters for it to be implemented. You understand? So that we can work around it. In terms of the group flight, yes, it will be those who are going to Ghana to support. Now, what I'll do, although this is all, there are some of the things I cannot really tell, but you see, we need to first of all energize the Ghanaian, the necessity and the possibility or the reason why he has to go to Ghana to support the 2020 election. Secondly, you need to make sure that as a leader, you negotiate with those flight people. Now, there are some flight that if they travel like Tuesday, for instance, the prices are less. If they travel weekends, the prices are high. There are some flights that if you look at the airport, Ghana airport charges, for instance, the taxes that they collect as compared to here in the UK. So as a youth leader, identify all those simple things and now negotiate with these people. And then at the end of the day, say, look, we have 200 people going to the same day. This is the deal that we have. I've asked that before and it works out. So those who are going to Ghana and those who are supporting the 2024 general election, as a youth leader, I'll come up with a program to energize them, to bring them on board why they should go to Ghana and support the 2024 general elections. So this will come through the group rights strategy. Of course, I will present it to my fellow executive as a body, and anyone who also have a strategy, they can also chip in. But at the end of the day, the dream is to get Ghanaians to go to Ghana and support the 2024 general elections. So there's so many things that we will do together, and there's so many things that we do. I just don't want to be that leader that anything that comes into my mind is what my people has to do. I also want to give the opportunity for them also to bring up their ideas and to bring up why they think we should do this and why we should implement those things. So it's something I'll work on it. And the engineering aspect, as I said, through my capacity building strategy, we get them on board, present our case to Accra. The system whereby so everybody bring it, today, when I go by the case of God, if I win, I'll make sure that the youth itself, because in the constitution, you talk of youth ministry. So as a youth leader, I need to be able to get my people to bring out their decisions and their strategies on board, so that I'll send it to my bosses and send it to the appropriate quarters as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, but if I'll go quickly, this one is coming from Oba TV and says that as youth organizer, what activities has the team UK carried out since its launching? Because from where we sit now, we all accept and agree that it's very, very laudable. Even if the next executives, you do not become the youth organizer, the relics are still there. The things that you have done in launching this group is still there, and it will go very far, even tomorrow if you are not there, because some other time you would want to go for other positions when you are out of the youth bracket, you see, and it is still there, and I'm sure you can beat your chest up. Now, it's well and good recruiting people, but the means that you said you're recruiting the people now, I believe what Oba TV is asking now is, now what have you done after the recruitment and the launch?
Okay, thank you for the question, and it's very laudable. Since launching the thing, the first thing we were able to do, we set up the link for them to register, we get them on board. We did what we call the summit. I think we did a summit last year, and then we have 100 people joining. Could you imagine 100 people joining the team program on Zoom? And in fact, even when we were closing on that day, people still wanted to be on. That is the power of vision. So we'll be able to do the summit, get the registration on board. And as I speak to you now, we have lecturers that are yearning to be part of this strategy, to be part of our work. But unfortunately, due to the conditionality of our elections, we had a letter from FEC that we should stop, or we should now more or less anything that we have to do, we need to seek approval from them. That's one of the things that limited us. Other than that, We could have had a program in East London University, and we could have one of the former one of the former education minister to join, and also to help us one-on-one. But due to the letter from Accra, we were slightly limited. But we've done the registration, and we've done the youth program, the 10 program that we had 100 members of it. And for one thing that Oba would be happy to know, or to be happy to hear, is that your Able Youth Organizer is now supporting our brothers in USA. The last time I was there with them, South Africa, and other chapters in supporting them in forming this TAID. So it's even an achievement for the TAID. And to simplify, you see, one of the reasons why I stood to contest again for this position was to build that legacy. As you just said, that it's something that we need to support. It's something
you don't want to leave it hanging.
When you see, as a leader, you come in and you set it up and you go and to Fanana, and it becomes a white elephant. As a leader, because the vision came out of me, or the vision came out of us as youth wing, I want to build that thing to be a force of record, a legacy for the chapter, a legacy for the NDC itself. Understand? Because I see that the human capacity of the next generation with this technology is so much enormous, and the country UK is the hub of education and hub of finances. So as a leader, as a youth leader, I cannot sleep without taking advantage of such resources to support my party and to support my country, Ghana. So I'm very, very pleased with those ones.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Right, Kofi, can you hear me? Kofi, can you hear me?
Kofi, can you hear us?
Can you hear us? Can you unmute yourself and see if you can pick up your last question? I mean, it would have been nice if we give you one opportunity to just nicely wrap it up. Right, you are back on. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, sir.
Okay, right. There is a question here. We are running behind schedule, but that's absolutely fine. These are some of the things that we as moderators will try and see if we can adjust ourselves. But I think it will only be fair if I just give you an opportunity to respond to this question, or also just chip in your last remarks there. This is a question from Karel Kowalski, who says, my question to Kofi Muhammad. He said he will work with his boss, which is absolutely fine. But Karel wants to know that what strategies will you bring on board as a young entrepreneur to help in making sure that the awakened opportunities are created? Your microphone is muted. Microphone is muted again. Okay. Hello, Kofi. Right. It looks as if today is not Kofi's day.
No,
absolutely.
It looks as if today is not his day at all.
Right.
Sorry for him. It
Look,
happens.
I know it is. It is. Just Freddie. I mean, this is a question I'm just gonna put. If you can just spend about 1 or 2 minutes, and then we can wrap it up nicely and move on to the next.
Yes.
You've definitely expressed yourself. You've given us all reasons to kind of like start thinking about you as one of our own. But then I haven't heard about, when you've run a lot of programs, you talked a lot about things you are doing, the support and all of that. You haven't really spoken about finances, because I know that in everything we do these days, if you don't get the money, these things don't really work like that. And I know sometimes people have to pull money from your own pockets. So it must have been a challenge. What would you do moving forward to kind of like bridge this sort of financial challenges and making sure it is not an issue that should stop you from achieving?
Yes, thank you. As the saying goes, so the experience is always the best teacher. When I was a youth organizer in Southland, the youth organizer, those are all the things that I identified. Understand? Yes. That's why I brought up what I call the setting up the fund for the youth week. You understand? So when I came, I presented to my fellow executive, and during the 10 launch, we were able to raise a good amount of money. I have that strategy of raising funds. So fundraising with members, and also fundraising with what we call the businesses. Now, if you look onto one of my programs, it's called the inter-membership marketing. What is it all about? As Mr. Kofi Mahama is, he's a chef, he's a businessman. Now, but how do NDC members know that he is a businessman? That's where the youth wing comes in marketing his businesses. Now, if you're marketing the businesses as a youth wing, you know what you can also help us. These are some of the backbones. We know people who are lawyers. We know people who are various professions that they've set up their businesses. As a youth organizer, with my team, we come to you, look, we can market your business for you. Just support the youth with £10 or £20. You understand? And even the places that we hire, because of the summit that we're going to talk about, we're just going to go with universities. As I said, we have established a connection with East London University. We have various lecturers in various universities. We establish connection with them. My brother is a chef, and the resource people are already in Ghana. Now, so imagine that I have a lecturer who is in East London University or Sheffield University. That look, you are a member of us. This is what the youth wants to do. Can you lead for us to get this place? Don't forget that the money will go down. That's finances. Kofi Mahama is a chef. Kofi, you are a youth organizer. We need to get food on board. You are already a chef. Let's make businesses. He can lead us do it. The resource people will come in. Various companies will come in and say, look, this is a negotiation that we can do. The finances are already solved, isn't it? So there's a strategy that are put in place that will enable most of our programs to be able to be discharged very, very simple. But as I said, the youth fund will be something that I'll revisit it again and I'll reintroduce it onto my executive, the whole chapter executive body, so that we can get that. And also, my boss, Jojo Pariado, we had a various big meeting about this thing. One of his vision was to establish an expanded thing in Ghana. In one of the policies that we submit to Accra was the support from Pro Forum. Now, Pro Forum has been agreed by the party. Now, Pro Forum, the belief of it is this: because I am a paying member, because I'm a student, they believe that after your education in school, you then go out to become a professional or to set up your businesses. And through that, there's a link between King and Pro Forum. So the policy that is submitted was that Pro Forum will give or support the youth. The Pro Forum will support the cane and the youth activities. And also the patrons are, for instance, those senior people that say, oh, be a patron. I mean, the senior man can say, Freddie, get this £200 or get this £100 to support your team membership as well. You understand? So there's various strategies that are put in place. This is just a radio and TV. And then, some of the strategies you need to work out with your organizers and your whole chapter executive for it to be done. As I said, I just don't want to be the leader who only think for his people that do what I think. I just want to be a leader that let's do what we think. Like the party that, yes.
All right, Freddie. I thank you so much. Alfred, if you don't have any question yet, I have a question for him, and this one is coming from.
Yes, go for it.
He didn't put his name, but I have it here.
Yes.
Says as part of the executives now, as you speak, or the back would stop with you, obviously, in many ways, and what has gone on in the past to where we are now. Are you able to? This is not particularly related to your youth program, or your leadership as a youth organizer, or seeking for re-election as a youth organizer. But are you able to tell us why we are having our election late?
I'll carry that from our constitution. In Article 38, it says that the external branches get directive from the RAD. The reason why we're having our elections late has to do with so many things. It has to do with structures. It has to do with various petitions. It has to do with some of the mistakes from the chapter executives, some of the things that we should have done that we didn't do. When I said chapter executive, I'm not referring to anyone that is this person's fault or that person's fault. We as a chapter executive, because when you look through the directive, it says that when we fail to organize the election, the National General Secretary steps in. And that's what we have come to. So it's like we were short of it. So I mean, they set up the various committees, and look, let's also not forget that the various petitions that was sent to the RD and and the FEG and all those people, and even the election committee, some of them are very legitimate because they are all NDC members. You need to allow them to submit whatever, like a branch, allow the branches to also bring forth on everything. So I think it's a combination of failures from various bodies that were set up. But you see, I believe that after this election, after the postmortem is done, we will identify most of these loopholes. Like by 6 months' time, a branch should make sure that they get all their registers on board, the eligible voters who are pay up members. The chapter should get the data on board. The treasurer, the secretary, the chairman, the youth organizer, the women organizer, all of us, we should make sure we go down to the branches. You understand? I can't be a youth organizer and fail to visit even any of the branches and stay in London and say I'm the chapter executive. We need to get base. We need to get the people. So I think after these elections, most of the things that will be addressed, most of the things that will be identified. And as I said, by the grace of God, if I get in, with my experience from the branch level to this chapter, I'll be able to be in a good position to suggest something that will benefit the future. Unlike somebody who just said that, I don't know what is happening. You understand where I'm coming from? So that's why we need people like me to still retain my position as well.
Thank you.
Okay.
You have the floor, please.
Yes. Thank you very much, Sankofa. Kofi, can you hear me? Okay, that's fine. So I just wanted to see if Kofi was good to go, but it looks as if his microphone is not helping us today. Probably I would just say really well done with your presentation. I mean, like I said, it's just an opportunity to be able to interact with the voters. Myself and Sankofa sitting down here, we have our vote, so we're also listening to you. And for me, is at the end of the day, is what we perceive, what we think about, what you've said to us. A lot of people will reflect on them going forward, and then in the end, it's always the best man who wins, isn't it? So that is the show that we're running here tonight. I probably would say we just have about a minute, and as usual, I give you the opportunity to put your strapline message to the people. What exactly do you want to tell them, just in 1 minute? Come on the day of election, why should anybody put their vote on Friday?
Thank you once again, and thank you for the organizers, the fantastic job that they've done. My name is Alfred Freddy Kotobo. The election will happen on the 7th of October in North London. I'm seeking your support. I'm urging you. I'm pleading for you to retain me, because a leader takes over and implements something. And I've taken over, and the policies that you could associate the NDC with here in the UK, you can never write off pain, because it was something that we achieved as a youth wing. And I believe that if you retain me in the next 4 years, I will do more, and I'll leave a proper legacy for the chapter itself. I'm pleading with you that 7th of October, the date is now sealed and confirmed. Please book a day off. Please come as possible to come and retain some of us to implement and take the UK Ireland chapter to where we want the chapter to be. We cannot afford to be the shadow of the diaspora. We have to be the leaders of the diaspora, and the youth wing is a pillar, and you need an experienced person like me. So please, my name is Alfred Freddy Kotovo. The ballot has not been done, but I believe that at least, regardless of the ballot, my name, Alfred Freddy Kotovo, kindly retain me, and I can work with any individual, the whole team, That's with the chapter executive as well. God bless you. Good night, and thanks to the organizers for the program.
Thank you very much, Alfred Freddy Kotobo. As usual, viewers and listeners on all the platforms across, you've heard Freddie. It's just unfortunate tonight wasn't the show for Theophilus, but just like Theo is watching live, and the comments that are there, what I will urge Theo to do is, it's still an opportunity for you to be able to respond to some of the live comments on the chat box. So if you don't mind, Theophilus, if you're still listening and hearing me, if you go on the platform, there are a couple of questions. One of them is from Josh, and Josh is saying, good evening, organizers. I just want to find out from our incumbent youth organizer, which is Theophilus, what are some of, sorry, that is Freddie. Sorry, Freddie, this is yours. I just want to find out from our incumbent youth organizer, what are some of the new strategies you would adopt in order to mobilize your youth going into the 2024 polls? Also, how have you been engaging and interacting with the youth for the past 4 years? Facebook question. So, Freddie, you still there? These are questions you can respond to. I mean, it's always, an opportunity to be able to do so at any point in time. But again, thank you very much to both aspirants, and we just hope that things go really very well for both of them come 7th, if that is the certified date. And we will be going live to our producer, and when we come back, we will be having Roger and Kofi Adoli, who will be on the show to share with us what their vision stands. Thank you.
Bella Fertility Foundation presents its annual charity dinner ball in aid of fertility treatment and L&D maternity ward, which will be held on the 7th of October 2023 from 5 p.m. to 2 a.m. at the Luton Chiltern Hotel. The event will be hosted by Jojo Emmanuel Lawson and Mami Serwa II. Special performances on the night by Joy and G Melodies, Harps Chorale, Fresh Andy and KK Mensa. DJ Chores will be keeping you on your feet all night long. Your red carpet reception will be hosted by Saxman Justin. There'll be delicious food served by Arms Catering Services, cocktails served by Brew Exotic Cocktails, and desserts served by I Sugarcoat Everything. Tickets are £50 for standard and £70 for VIP, and can be purchased at www.angelscommunities.org, or you can contact Nana on 077 8885 5164. It's going to be a night to remember. See you there. Bella Fertility.
Love when I wanna get another one, I go take and do waiting I love, waiting you love, oh, no be waiting I love, oh, waiting I love, I go do what we love, I go no be vodka, Mr. Money Changer, but when I know the ways that Mr. I want the year.
Suzuza. Arise for Ghana, operation of the land, forward and seek your future. People love bend our code from vision to victory. The NDC shall lead. Able Democrat, Ghana, our strength in unity. From vision to victory, the NDC shall lead. Able Democrat, Ghana, our strength in unity. of a drop of the land. When I secure future, people love me, our God. From being to be free, the NDC shall lead. Stable democrat, our strength to unity. From being to be free, the NDC shall lead. Stable democrat, our strength to unity. From being to be the NDC shall lead. Stable democrat.
Hello and welcome to our two aspirants, Roger Boko. Did I get that right, Roger?
Yeah, that's great.
Yes, and I'm very well, thank you. And then I have Kofi Adole on the show. Welcome both of you, gentlemen, and it's good to have you here. let me just ask Sankofa to speak to the two gentlemen just for a minute, and then I can give them the platform to sort of like open up their music messages.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. It's just to welcome you. And thank you so very much for making yourself available. This shows how ready you are. And after tonight, after 7th next month, touch wood, even if you don't win, you have really showed that you are part and parcel of the family. And of course, you would be called anytime then this want to move forward. Because this tells us where we say that you don't pick and choose. Some of us, we don't have any dog in the race at all. I keep on telling my friends that even if NDC comes to power, which I believe the NDC is going to take office next year after the election, 2025 NDC will form government. Some of us will still be here and be working, doing our work, not going back for anything, but we'll still be at the background and work. The simple reason is we want to see Ghana go forward. We want to see the Ghana that we left off 2016, where everything was rather on course and getting better. We will be able to stabilize the economy. We have fought very, very for perennial thing after independence, all down to the time that Dumso came to hang about the neck of John Dramani Mahama, which he stood up and said, listen, I'm not going to even take it back to the time that these things started. I'll take responsibility. I'll stand up. I'll do it. And he did it. And to the confession of even the MPP before they came to office, he said, yes, you've solved it. You've done it. But we're not going to give you any credit for that because that's what you have voted to do. And we came through very, very well. And they've taken 8 years less to just pull everything down. The next NDC is going to really, really struggle, but we'll do it. We've done it many, many, many times. So we can do it. And we need people like you, people who will not pick and choose, people who would not think that anybody has a dog in the race, people who will not think that our democracy cannot go on because they feel that certain things are set against them. After last week's program, if you know the people who want to come on, if you know the people who regret that they didn't come on, you'll be surprised. But once you've taken that decision to come on, I am so happy. Kofi, personally, I admire your effort and your groundswork that you've been doing across. When I was in Ghana for about 3 months, he gave me a call more than 4 times, all the time asking me, when are you coming back? The election will be coming on. We are still on the ground. We're still going. How is Ghana's going like? And Roger, to have been seeing your messages across all the platforms, some of even the Ghana platforms going back and forth, Some people think that some people unfortunately feel entitled, but in NDC you don't feel entitled. It's not like MPP where you have to go and bring your grandfathers who fought for the party somewhere in the UP time 1979 who was fighting you. It's not like that. If you show your worth NDC, you just move. If you show you otherwise, some of us join NDC very, very late, but everybody opened their door for us. So we are very, 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 very happy that you still believe in that spirit of togetherness of NDC. If anybody gives you a platform, even if the enemy's platform, Margaret Thatcher said, it is good to keep your enemy in your tent rather than outside the tent. Then you can follow it and see what they are doing. So we are very happy. We thank you so much for making yourself available, especially you who are here tonight, and also Theophilus Sapon and Alfred, Freddie, who just finished this. So, Alfred, Mune, if you are ready, you just give the floor first, possibly to Roger to start.
Yes, that's absolutely fine. I think Roger, he has an introductory music. We will ask our producers to play that before we give him.
And we remind viewers and anybody who even watch, Roger is aspiring for treasurer position.
Yes, absolutely, treasurer. That is what
keep
it
our
is.
money for us.
And Kofi is secretary aspirant. And like we said, I think it's quite interactive on our screen as well. You can see their roles that they go in for, just to avoid the confusion. But that's a good point, Sankofa. Thank you.
Eja, Suzuza. Arise for Ghana, a patron of the land. Forward and seek your future. Development our goal. From vision to victory, the NDC shall lead. Able Democrat, Ghana, our strength in unity. From vision to victory, the NDC shall lead. Able Democrat, Ghana, our strength in unity. Eja bana Victory is our land. Victory is our land. JJ is a winner.
Welcome back, viewers. So we will be giving Roger the floor. So Roger, you are on for 10 minutes. I'm not going to interrupt you. I would only come in just about a minute when you can wrap up for us. Off you go.
Thank you very much, Alfred. Thank you very much, Sankofa. Thanks to my brother Kofi. Good evening, and greetings to all our viewers and listeners. My name is Roger Boko. I'm a software developer, and I'm the current treasurer of the chapter UK Ireland. I've been in this position since 2013. I've worked with the previous chairman, Mr. Kofi Kwache and Samkwe, and currently I'm working with this current executive. But from what I know about this chapter and what makes me gives me the reason to carry on being the treasurer of the chapter is since 2008, this chapter had very vibrant members who they were not as many as we are now, but they were very committed to the cause of the NDC, and they made a lot of impact. We created platforms, we created things that national has actually adopted as part of their policy. So you could see that with few members, we were able to do so much. Coming down to Now you realize, although we are many now where we expect growth in terms of our dynamism, our achievement. Rather, you realize our input into the national policies have been rather we have been like we've gone into reverse. Let me put it that way. We are now being told the basic things as uh, a chapter should do. Meanwhile, before, when we were a small group of people trying to make impact, we did actually had NEC or national headquarters. I mean, take ideas from us. So what inspired me to keep on in this position is I wanted us to change the image of the chapter. I wanted us to get back the image that the chapter actually had prior to 2016, where we had committed members who are supposed to only focus on the party's image, do whatever is right to make sure the NDC UK actually is still the what's it called? What's it called? The name of the there's a word for it. No, NDC UK is the model chapter that other branches can learn from. It's unfortunate we had a little bit of image degradation, but I believe with the new executive that uh, we are going to have, God willing, from 7th October, we can put back the image of this chapter. We can get the image of the chapter back, and one of the way we need to do this is we had one of the difficulties we had this time in organizing our election is data gathering and how we synchronize data, how we are able to, have easy access to information that we can organize the election without any difficulties, without any delays. And I believe with the new set of leadership, I believe we are going to have Mr. Mabada Kofi Adole and the chairman Conrad. I believe we'll be able to create a system where we can easily synchronize whatever happened in every branch, so that we will have a centralized data system where whatever happens, whatever membership is in all branches, we are able to have quarterly or monthly updates, so that we know exactly what is happening at every branch, so that whenever there's time for election, you don't need to run to branches to tell, okay, this person has paid, this person has not paid, and stuff like that. Everything is systematic. From there, election will be done on time, and everybody will be satisfied with whatever outcome voter register brings up, because the information has been added consistently at regular frequency that cannot come and bring out new or what's it called rented let me put it, rented voters on us to come and decide who is our chapter leadership. So my drive is that we can do it these days, and especially with the technology that is far advancing. We can do this, and we can do it so well. And if it goes so well, I believe, because my brothers and the new executive that I'm believing will come into place, they have a capacity. We can do it, and if it goes well, I believe it's going to go well. We are going to have to share with Ghana. This in UK here, the Labour Party, there's only one. You just pay your dues, and it doesn't matter where you are, which part of UK you are. You can pay your dues as a member, and there's a system that knows exactly which branch you belong to and stuff like that. So I think it's an easy thing to do if you are committed to do it, and I believe I need to be part of this process to reform the chapter, to get the chapter to be working seamlessly, and we get our image back. The problem we had is it's looking like we are grown-ups that cannot make uh, uh, that cannot organize ourselves to come up with a good system to run the chapter on. So with what I envisage we will be doing, this will make our work so easy. It looks difficult, but it's not. Once the system is in place and all branches know what is expected of them, I think we will be able to bring back the image of the chapter as it was some time ago. That is one of the reasons why I'm still standing for a chapter treasurer, so that this is happening. And the second thing is, as a treasurer, we have a duty to make sure whoever we put in that office has the credibility, has the discipline, who has a self-devotion, who is committed to the cause of the NDC. You don't want to put somebody as a treasurer who is self-interest driven, who only thinks of how to get to benefit to themselves and few people that are within the executive. The reason why I'm saying this is, as a chapter treasurer, you are there to make sure monies spent from the chapter coffers are worth whatever is being used for. You expect you are supposed to look after people's contribution, and you must make sure that whatever money is being spent from the chapter's account is actually accepted by all executives. There is no two people agreeing to just take money out and it's done like that. So we must have an eagle eye on the account. And this has been the situation from since I started. And the previous chairman I worked with, they have confidence in me, and I had confidence in them. Whatever decision we took, everything went according to what was agreed at meetings. And until now, there was no issue with chapter account being tempered with, or people going to chapter account for any reason or the other. But there has been some challenges this past years where things did not go the way it's supposed to go, and I believe
sorry, Roger, you should be wrapping up for us. I'm sorry.
I believe with the lessons that the experience that we have had this time, and chapter members will see that there's need for us to get the people that are committed, that are dedicated, that have the discipline, that are focused not only on having a position, but having to work for the NDC to promote the NDC and to make sure we have a better chapter going forward. That chapter that is being respected by all, that can actually give ideas to national headquarters for us to make NDC a better and a formidable party that is accountable, that is that accepts everybody, that is able to believe in the cause of NDC. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you, Roger. Kofi, Alfred, do you want to say something before Kofi takes the floor?
No, just let Kofi follow, and then we can bring up the questions.
Yes. Kofi, you have the floor from now.
Thank you. Thank you, Sankofa. Thank you, Comrade Alfred, Comrade Sankofa, and Comrade Roger. Good to see you. Good evening to all of you. Thank you to the organizers of the branches who have put this together, on whose vision
we are realizing this engagement tonight. So I'm very grateful to you. You know, the organizer for Scotland branch, Liverpool branch, Telford or Midlands branch, Manchester branch, all the organizers of the branches, Hull, Milton Keynes, Luton, Birmingham, North London, East London, South London, Reading. I salute all of you. Thank you. Thank you for your consensus. You know, you're working together as a team. You have shown yourselves to be an example of what an executive body or group of NDC people can do when you come together to deliver an outcome. So I'm really appreciative. You know, more grease to your elbows. Kudos. Thank you very much. I don't take it for granted that we have the opportunity to interact with members and to sell our vision for the chapter. I'm very, very grateful for the opportunity. My name is Kofi Adoli. I have been a loyal servant of the NDC. I have worked in very, very different capacities. The one that, you know, stands out is the fact that I have been the chapter youth organizer of the NDC between 2013 and 2018, after which I didn't stand for an election. I took the backstage, remained a loyal, active, committed member of the chapter, and until the opportunity came last year for us to have an election, and then following wide consultation, I decided that I will contest for the position of the chapter secretary. And I will come to the motivation behind, you know, contesting for this position. But there's a point I need to make, which point is coming from a certain backdrop. If you, as you listen to most of the speakers up till now, you would realize there's a certain undercurrent, which is an undercurrent of lack of cohesion, lack of unity, or there is a certain call for unity, working together as a chapter in order for us to regain our image as the model chapter for the NDC abroad or outside of Ghana. That is a very critical point. In fact, on the 7th of January, if I get my date right, in Tottenham, when the national chairman of our party, together with the current flag bearer of the party, former President John Dramani Mahama, and national chairman Mr. Johnson Astiedu Nketia, sat in front of us in North London, they highlighted our failings. Although they put them in language that was diplomatic, it was the height of our challenges, because these are the two most powerful people in our party standing in front of us, recognizing the fact that you, our senior children in the diaspora, are failing, and that you must put your acts together. It was a low point. Nearly a year on, we are still unable to hold an election. Why have we got to this point today? Why are we not able to hold elections? Even though we have the quality human resource, we are living in a first world country, we have had, you know, first world experiences, we have learned a lot, been to some of the best universities. How come we have been unable to give evidences of our, you know, experiences in the diaspora, such that we can continue to be the model? We didn't just arrive here. We are here because of decisions or the lack of them, because of actions or the lack of actions, missed opportunities in the past that have led us to the point where we have been badly exposed. The embarrassment out of that, such as it happened in Tottenham, comes to every member, including myself. The embarrassment of NDC UK Ireland, the front line of NDC diaspora not being able to have an election, does not only affect the image of executives, it affects you, it affects me. In times like that, you need somebody to stand up and say, I will represent the solution. I will represent the way forward. This is the context within which my decision came. This is the context that informs my decision to, step up to the plate and work with everybody else in order to renew the image of our chapter, in order to renew the energy, the courage, the commitment of our members, so that next year, 2024, when the party steps forward to campaign and to wrestle power for the good of the people of Ghana, NDC UK Ireland will be at the front. This is why I'm standing in front of you today, I'm sitting in front of you today to present my agenda. First and foremost, we cannot do it without being united, which is why I've given, credence to the unity that the organizers of the branches have displayed. It is commendable. I'm really appreciative of that. And it is that spirit that will inform my leadership as chapter secretary going into the future. Although the period will be reduced to 3 years, we will still have a good opportunity to show the difference that there is to show. As we speak today, I will speak to 5 critical issues that are confronting our chapter that have led to why we are struggling to even hold an election. Number 1, if you are looking for NDC UK Ireland today, as we speak, statistics that have been bandied about show that there are over 300,000 Ghanaians or people of Ghanaian descent in the United Kingdom. Over 300,000. Please note, I'm sure I'm even underestimating because the figure I'm relying on is quite a few years ago. Over 300,000. My assumption is that there are NDC members or people leaning to the NDC amongst that section of the United Kingdom population. But if any of them who has not had an experience of being a member of the NDC in the UK Ireland, and they decide that what is happening in Ghana now requires a solution, requires helping, coming together in order to solve the problem, and they get up and say, we are looking for NDC in the UK Ireland, it is not straightforward. Why? Because we are not visible. If anybody is looking to join us at the branch level, it is not that easy unless you know somebody who knows before you are able to get to join us. That is an issue that needs to be solved. At the community level, there are Ghanaians. Those Ghanaians do hold funerals when, members of the family die, or they are remembering somebody who has died maybe a few years ago, they are remembering an anniversary, they hold events. When they give birth to children, or they are marrying, or they are having church anniversaries, those are happy moments. Or even in the mosque, when they are celebrating, significant, timelines within the Muslim calendar, happy days, sad days. The NDC within those communities, at the moment, we don't have activities that bring us to interface with the Ghanaian communities in the UK. Some of the candidates who are existing executives have given indications of lack of cohesion or lack of teamwork at the executive levels.
Coffee, 2 minutes.
Okay. And then also, we have quality human resource amongst us. I mean, engineers, doctors, lecturers, we have them. How much are we tapping them? And then the last point has to do with the extent to which we work with the party in Ghana. Now, if we lump all of this together, you realize that our challenges that have led to us not being able to present ourselves in a well-packaged manner are coming from these practical issues. So my representation or the what I'm standing on is one, to make the chapter visible online, through mail, and through local branch level activities. That includes creating more branches. So immediately the election is completed on the 7th of October, I will hit the ground running with the other executives, working as a team. That is quite critical. It is not because I have this agenda and therefore I'll disregard everybody. I'll work with them to make sure that we hit the ground, create new branches, work with the existing branches to make sure the branches are functional and we are capable of supporting the party in Ghana to achieve the victory we need next year. I will make sure all our human resources are placed at the forefront of putting together our manifesto and debating policy or our policy proposals in the media so as to promote the image of our chapter. I will work to deliver those. I will make sure also that the chapter in the UK recognizes its place in the party architecture, where we are, and how our relationship is with the party back at home, so that we can meaningfully contribute, rather than seeing ourselves as, because we live in the UK, we are special or we are much more important, and then become a little too arrogant and unable to work together with the party, in Ghana. So those are the 5, broad areas I'm going to work, as a chapter secretary, if I'm elected on the 7th of October, God willing, to become your servant. Thank you very much. I'm hoping that when the question and answer section comes, I'll be able to elaborate further on some of the things that I've laid out. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kofi. That was really, really spot on. Thank you. And time was well kept. Yes, as usual, when we finish with these presentations, it's just an opportunity to pick up some few questions. And like you rightly said, Kofi, some of these issues can be followed through during the question and answer session. Sankofa, do you have any questions in front of you want to start with? Or I've got a couple for Kofi and Roger.
My little concern is Roger, Kofi raised a point that there seem to be an undercurrent, here and there, as if we would need to work together, which is very important. If we do not work together, we cannot move forward. We can be doing all what we can, but we will just be stuck. Because as a chapter here, Accra and Ghana as a whole is just also looking what we are bringing on board. Now, Roger, you said that the image was very well, which of course I also remember when I was on radio back in the 2007, 2008, 2009. I've possibly interviewed almost every member, the leadership of the party, and you realize that the image was different from now. Bearing in mind that we are in a public domain as we have in this meeting, bearing in mind that we are on YouTube and other channels, that anybody at all who is not part of the fraternity is also watching us. How do you think that we can redeem the image as quickly as we can so that the chapter will just take its best clothing again, as we say in the
what the NDC in Ghana headquarters expect from the diaspora? They know we are exposed to so many practical systems where things work according to rules and regulations, where things move according to how they are planned to move. There is no shortcut into any system in the UK. They know we have been exposed to it, and they expect us to live above, at least above the what happens locally in Ghana. We know how parties are organized in UK here. We know how they set up their system. So they expect us to, come up with something that they can copy from us. You understand? Because they know we are all, most of the people in the UK here are well educated, they have the experience, they've lived here for a while. So we should be actually advising them, okay, we have had this system. Can we implement it in Ghana? I don't know, you know how dues collection is done in Ghana. Sometimes we don't know exactly how it is done. So at least if we set up a system with which we can implement and it's working well seamlessly, we can forward to Ghana, they can implement it. But when you said you talk about division, for instance, we must have people who are committed to working together. If I want to work as a team, work with everybody, and the other person is not willing or prepared to work with me as a treasurer, there's nothing I can do about that situation. You are willing to work together in trust and honesty, okay? And if the other person is unwilling to do that, there's very little you can do about it. Teamwork.
Thank you. Yes. So it gets down to teamwork and commitment.
Yes.
You drive on that.
Okay.
All right. Mm-hmm. Alfred.
Yes. I think I've got an interesting one from, I think it's Kula, and this one is for Kofi. Kula just wants to know the differences. What difference you have really made in the community, and what skills you have to make those differences in the NDC come to reality. So he wants to look at your own life experiences that you have in the community. What kind of skills have you been able to gain, and if these are transferable to the NDC moving forward?
Thank you, Kofi, for the question. I've lived in the United Kingdom for 20 years now, and I'm a member of a church. I actually get involved in evangelism, but before getting into the activity of evangelism, I put myself through Bible studies in order to understand what the gospel is about, so that when I stand out there talking to people, members of the public, about the gospel, I am firmed up. I am on good grounds. Now, that is a personal experience in terms of religion. NDC as a political party is a machinery for winning elections and using the people's mandate to transform their lives positively. And then if you fail, it becomes a negative outcome, like the MPP is doing now. And so my idea of getting into the community is about engaging with the people in the community, which is why I'm talking about occasions, happy occasions, sad occasions. We need to have those on our branch calendars. So for example, in North London, if in Wood Green, there's going to be a naming ceremony next week, which involves maybe our member or a relative of our member, the branch executives during their monthly meetings should discuss whether or not that activity is worth participating in, and then planning how the participation should go, and then sourcing members from within the members, those who are able and willing to attend to represent the branch. When you do so, even if it is £5 you go and donate, or £50 that you donate, the mere gesture of engaging with the members of that community on that occasion is well appreciated. And in addition to that appreciation, you have brought the visibility of the party within that community to the people. So you can call it political evangelism. You know, that is something we need to do, practical political evangelism. If we do that and the people appreciate it and they come closer and join the party, guess what? We get bigger in terms of our numbers. And if they are committed and they pay their dues, then we are financially stronger. We can contribute to for example, the registration that is going on now. We can have enough funds to now support constituencies and win power for the NDC. So I know the question is asked of me, but I've tried to transform it into how that can manifest in our operation as a political party in the UK. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have you picked up any? Yes.
Yeah, Alfred, if you have more of the questions, because
yes, I think there's one that's just come through for Kofi, and I think I'm going to lump this up for you, Kofi. There is actually two questions in one. The first one is saying what will be your mode of your source of information dissemination, or if you are elected, and it's also saying that what will you do to make the chapter very attractive? So these are two things that they've lumped us. So information dissemination is one. How will you make the chapter very attractive? But this is not a question. Well, it is a question, but it's just an assurance the person wants. This is coming from Oba TV, and they're saying that they just want the assurances that if elected, you will stay in your post in the UK and ensure that the policies that you are working for are delivered, because you've left before to go to Ghana to work, maybe personal reasons. You may want to reassure your voters on this.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, comrades. I didn't catch this who placed the question, but thank you. It's an important point that has been raised. The previous leaders of the chapter that have really made any difference in the life of the chapter and therefore the life of the NDC in Ghana have been those who moved. And what I mean is, as an executive, you are not elected to sit at one place. You are elected to function. By functioning, what it means is that you should be at the branch, inspiring them, encouraging them, working with them to deliver outcomes. It also means that you should be working with the mother party in Ghana and supporting them, making a difference in the life of the party in Ghana also. So being an executive in NDC UK Ireland does not mean that you stay here. Mr. Alesegwefia, when he was the chairman, he was between the UK and Ghana all the time. Most of the people that have made a difference that the treasurer was talking about those days were very mobile. At my time as the youth organizer, I have been very, very mobile. Every single branch that we have in the UK, I have been there. Some of them many times. So that has been the impact of my leadership. And so it's not a matter of, like I said to you, I've maintained my being in the UK for 20 good years uninterrupted. Yes, there were times you see me, there are days you see me in the UK like we are doing now. The next evening, you see me in Kumasi. How did I? Because of the way I plan my movement. I finish an event, before you know it, I'm in transit. There were days people see me in Accra, the next morning they see me in Ghana doing a live video of President Mahama's event in the UK, in London. So it's not like I have children in the UK. I have my wife. They're here. I would have abandoned my family if the claim that I've abandoned the post is true. So I just wanted to practicalize my period as youth organizer. It was now on the point of making the party visible and also helping with information dissemination. Thank God we are at the age of information, information era, basically at the age of where information is the economy. The economy is about information. Life is about information. And so we have the technology that will support us to be able to share information and be able to reach out to people. As I speak to you now, I'm a member of the National Communications Bureau. Globally of the party. I work directly under the National Communications Officer. And I deliver some of the responsibilities that mean that I'm in touch with pretty much every base of the party. I have the experience, I have the background, I have been able to work with a lot of people. There is nobody or there is no constituency in Ghana that I have no contact with. So what I'm trying to say is that with that scope of work, with that experience, the UK is on a smaller scale. One critical element of that question, that in terms of responding to the question, is the communications office of the party in the UK. It's a critical front for our ability to reach out and be visible and to impact the minds and hearts of people in the UK. So I will work with them, the officer and the deputy and the branch ones. I will work with them in order for my experience to be brought to bear, for our chapter to be, much more visible. If I want to go into the practical details, then I'll probably not have time to do so.
Thank you, Comrade. Okay, thank you very much, Kofi. I think most of the, like I said, sometimes we just have to. There are still a couple of questions coming up, but we're quite very worried of the schedule at the moment. We're running a little bit late because of some hitches, but I mean, to be on the very, very solid side, I just would read some of those information very quickly. What you can do for me, Kofi, is whilst you're still on the live platform interacting, you can answer some of the questions directly on the chat box as well. But one of the questions which is just coming from, I think, is it says, Comrade Roger. So this is for Roger. You might want to interact with the platform and just be able to answer that for us. It says, please, what strategies will you adapt to make sure the finances of the chapter is strong, and how accountable do you promise to your chapter? I think you've given us a little bit of those inkling, but it is something that you might be able to interact more on the platform for us, if you don't mind. I also have a question for Kofi, which you can also just type on the platform for us. It says, if you are giving the note, what exactly will be your plan in lifting the NDC party in the UK to be a force that will be able to reckon with the headquarters in Ghana? So again, you've outlined some of your visions very clearly, but if you could also go on the platform and be able to respond to David's anchor on that. What I will do is I'll just give each one of you 1 minute to just wrap up for me. Can you please, if the elections is coming on the 7th, could you just give us one particular reason why you think anybody should go to the polling station and put their vote on you? I would start with Roger. Why do you think people should go to the polling station on the 7th and put their vote on you? Just 1 minute.
Yeah, I would like to tell all NDC UK chapter members that with Roger as your treasurer, your money with the chapter is safe. With Roger as your treasurer, you're always going to have someone who is dealing with our finances diligently. With Roger, you just have to look from when I started. There has never been any issue about financial irregularity. So with me, you know that your money is safe with Roger. There is no cutting of corners.
Okay,
and I believe.
Thank you very much, Roger. I think that was well picked. So your money is safe with Roger, was his strapline phrase. Can I just go to Kofi 1 minute? Why should we go to the polling station on the 7th, if it is coming on, and put our vote on you?
Thank you. First and foremost, I'm going to focus on our chapter being united. So unity is going to be a key factor in the decision you will take, comrades, at the poll that day. Who amongst us, contesting for the position of the secretary is very likely to be open door, to be, able to work with everybody who is focused on uniting the party, allowing everybody, regardless of whether we agree or disagree, to be around the table. I think I represent that. Number 2, there are 5 things that I represent. Visibility of the chapter, NDC UK Ireland, needs to be visible so people can access us. Number 3, the branches must be focused on in order for us to be strong. So I will work on expanding, establishing new branches, and also making the existing ones more functional, making sure that executives work together, making sure that our quality human resource within the chapter are put forward, in the policy debates across board, in order to make sure that our chapter, is people can see us better. Then the last thing has to do with how we work with the party in Ghana. It has to be constructive. It has to be engaging. People must see the value of our engagement with them. So those are the things that I represent, which are the things I hope members in the chapter will have in mind when they go to vote at the polls on the 7th of October. My appeal is that you vote for Kofi Adoli as your chapter secretary, so that I can pull everybody together so we can make a difference in the next 3 years in the life of the party.
Thank you very much, Kofi. So once again, our listeners on both YouTube and Facebook, thank you very much for that interactive show. A lot of your questions are still coming up. And like I said, Kofi, we are still live on the chat box. Can you please go and see if you can respond to some of the questions directly? And that will be great. But again, once again, thank you for both of you. And I'll go back to our producer, take some commercial breaks shortly, and then we'll be coming back. When we come back, we will be speaking to Beatrice, and I think we'll be speaking to Beatrice and Seth Kweku Anderson.
Suzuza. Arise for Ghana, Aspirants of the land, forward and seek your future, development our goal, from vision to victory, the NDC shall lead, able democrat, Ghana, our strength in unity, from vision to victory, the NDC shall lead, able democrat, Ghana, our strength in unity. Victory is our land. Victory is our land. JJ is a winner. Arise for Ghana, Aspirants of the land, forward and secure future, development our goal, from vision to victory, the NDC shall lead, stable democrat, Ghana, our strength in unity, from vision to victory, the NDC shall lead, stable democrat, Ghana, our strength in unity.
Hello, welcome, Beatrice Zante. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you. Good evening. Thank you, Alfred.
Yes, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Is Seth Anderson on? Hello.
Yeah, yes, I am.
Okay, that's good. Good to see you on the show, Seth. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks. And you?
Okay. Oh, not too bad at all. Yeah, so really warm welcome to both of you. I don't know if you believe in this, but I do. They say he who laughs last, laugh best. So I hope that you both having the platform, being our last aspirants, to be able to interact with the viewers out there. It will be a great opportunity to really pitch yourself and just give people one last opportunity on a huge platform like this to be able to understand more of your visions, your leadership styles, what you have to offer us, and hopefully they should have some questions for you at the end. As we usually do, it's just 10 minutes uninterrupted. We will only say a word when it's about a minute or so, and you can wrap up for us. And then once it's done, the rest will be the viewers asking the questions, and hopefully you will have more opportunity there. Okay.
All right,
Just hold on. Sorry for interrupting. It looks like my camera. I can't.
Yes, I was about to say your picture, your camera is not on yet. Yeah, well, we can see. I think this is just basically your profile picture.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Was a live feed. Is your camera open? I think the camera is active, but it might be closed at the top. I have my laptop sometimes. There is this, you can flip it on and off. So if it's one of those, you might need to push the camera over.
I'm not using a laptop. I'm using a desktop.
Right. Well, that's okay. You probably you can work on it, and I think as it stands, if I just have a quick look, it should be. Yeah, I think Beatrice is going to come first. So once we're still speaking to Beatrice, you'll probably be able to work on your camera. But of course, I think I can still see your photo, really nice photograph there. Hopefully, people should be able to recognize who Seth Anderson is. More importantly, the message is what we are always looking for. So hopefully, good luck with that as you work on it. I would go back. Just Sankofa, do you want to add something? If not, we take a quick sort of intro music.
No, let's since you're already far behind time, let's just take the intro and just keep going.
Absolutely.
And what said if.
Suzuza. Arise for Ghana, operation of the land, forward and seek your future, development our God, from vision to victory, the NDC shall lead, Democrat, Ghana. Our strength in unity, from vision to victory, the NDC shall lead. Democrat, Ghana, our strength in unity.
Well, welcome back. So Beatrice, the show is for you now. Just 10 minutes uninterrupted. Just what do you have to share with us? Leadership qualities, what your vision is for the chapter as an aspirant of a vice chairperson.
Okay. I wanted to say good evening to Sankofa. It's been a while. I've not seen you for a while. How's it going?
I'm around. Not too bad. I was in Ghana for 3.5 months. Yeah.
Good for some, eh?
No, it sounds like 1 year. It sounds like 1 year. Minding my thing. Sounds like 1 year, trust me.
Don't come and share your trouble here. Just leave it.
Okay, I wanted to say good evening to everyone, and I wanted to say thank you so much for you, our moderators, Alfred and Sankofa. And I want to say a very, very massive thank you to members that have actually taken time on this Sunday evening, because Sunday is when you prepare for what you do with your families. Your kids are going to school tomorrow. And I want to thank everybody for actually giving us this opportunity to actually listen and actually try and give us the opportunity to sell ourselves. My name is Beatrice Asante, and I was the North London chairperson for 6 years. And I initially was in diehard politics. I wasn't even a politician. I came through JDM. And one of the people that was my mentor was Malik Dramani. Because I remember when I came to NDC, I came as a spectator, basically. I just felt, you know what, let me go and listen. Because they said, when I came, they were talking about politics in Ghana and being born here. Sometimes you think, what's that got to do with me? So I went there. JM had a program and I listened to him. And I was so impressed because then that was in 2012. Then he was talking about moving Africa forward, his vision, everything. So I was very, very impressed. So still I was a bit resilient and I kept saying, no, politics isn't for me. And then when I got involved in JDM, I saw that when you have somebody that has got a vision and you look at progress and you look at the Western world, there are things that you find it that with all our skill sets that we get from this country, you can implement it. So then they had started, the party was one big, it was the UK and Ireland was one big, there was no north, there was no south. I think there was Milton Keynes. So then they split it. So I ended up being the woman organizer in North London. And with the challenges that we had in North London, 2 years down the line, I was elected. And I wasn't elected. I was thrown as the first chairperson in North London because the branch had literally, Ghana had actually told us that we had to dissolve it because South London was functioning brilliantly, but North London was dead, basically. So what I did was, with my executives and I, we decided that we cannot sit back and let a branch die because of certain challenges. So we started moving on. My qualifications that I have, I did tourism in my degree, and and my master's is in project.
I had an issue. This in went off.
Seth, can you? Thank you. Sorry about that, Beatrice.
It's okay. So in my project management, I did leadership. But before doing that leadership, I was involved. I've always been involved in the community. During COVID, I ran a food bank for the Ghanaian community. When we're having challenges in the branches, I worked well as a chairperson with all my executives. One of the things that I want to explain is, as the role of a vice, this is one of the things that we have to understand, is one of the role of a vice is you're like an operations manager. You work under the chairman. You are not there to work above him. You're supposed to be the sounding board of your chairman. You're supposed to be there when he delegates. With me, that's how I see the vice. When he delegates, you work with him. I'm not there to overstep. I'm not there to undermine, because when you're working with a leader, he's the one that takes the lead and you're the one that is there, so that anytime something happens, he knows that he's got somebody supporting him as a vice person. My skill set that I bring to the table is, I have worked with Hackney Police. I have worked in Darbany House, which is youth offending team. I actually have a show on Omega Live TV called Young and Prolific that I inspire and I talk to our youth in the community, because sometimes what we forget is our children are the next generation, and what are we doing for them? So even when it comes to communication, I go on TV, sometimes I go on radio, because politics is trying to incorporate and assert what we have and move that forward, because we're going to implement it back home, because we see what is going on. As Sankofa said, the country has become so dire in terms of poverty, because somebody will turn back and say, oh, Africa has always been that way. But Africa has not got to the stage whereby even this evening, Adobo Sebifia was saying that Ghana people can't even have one meal. My skill set that I bring is I'm motivated, I'm decisive. I have helped the women's wing in terms of supporting them. I bring to the table my skill set of making sure that the party is the first priority. You see, when you love a party and when you're dealing with a party, you do not put yourself first. You're supposed to be selfless. And that is one of the things that I did in North London. By choosing the leader that we've got now, for instance, Mr. David Kwao is somebody that is going to build on what I built, because he was proactive. He was one of the people that raised a lot of money during the 2020 campaign. You see, when we're looking at moving forward, you don't look at the now. And that's some of the things that I realized that I have in common with JM. JM looks at the 10-year strategy. He doesn't look at the now. Now, in UK and Ireland, why do we sometimes feel that we are short-sighted? Because MPP does things whereby they look at what they can take now and not think of what is going to happen in the future. What are we as UK and Ireland? What are we going to do? What do we intend to provide Ghana so that when they look at us, they feel that we are going to make an impact? Because I always say in 2020, we did not lose that election. That election was stolen from us. And now, how are we going to retract and use the lessons that we've learned? With me, one of the things that I see is as a problem solver, because that's one of the things I do. As a problem solver, you look at what the problems are, you look at what the solutions are. You look at, I always say that we always have a SWOT analysis. You look at our strengths. Our strengths are our community, working as a unit. I always like the hand closed approach, not the hand open approach, because when you are strong, you are able to tackle your problems regardless of the challenges that you have. When you look at Ghana now, what is really killing us is this lack of honesty, there's lack of transparency, there is lack of people putting themselves in a position of what it will be like in the next 5 years. Most of the things that JM said to us, that was he started structuring the economy in 2016. But when MPP came, because of them being so greedy, they have crippled it. Now, what as advice do I have? Because of all the challenges and most of the challenges I had in North London, it has built that resilience, because for 6 years, one thing that I must stress was I was the first chairperson. And with the challenges that I had for my branch, and that's my legacy, for the branch to be where it is, I had to work closely with my executives. I had to make sure that everybody's voice was pertinent and everybody's ideas were not thrown by the wayside or was disregarded. Currently, I've been put on 3 committees in Ghana, the Working Women's Committee. I'm part of the logistics team that's under Dr. Hanabisu Kote. Yeah, I've been put on the I said the Women's Working Committee, that's one. I've been put on the logistics, and I've been now put on the foreign belt. This is all towards women empowerment. Because I remember when I joined, when I was chair, I promised that I was going to empower women, and I empowered. I support women. When Sumaya Libby went to Ghana, she's the Northeast Women Regional Women Organizer. I supported her. I support every woman. Mary Gardner can I testify that I supported her when she became deputy. I supported Becky. You see, the thing is, we want more women that are going to work and be productive.
A
Even
minute to
our
wrap
vice,
up for me. Thank you.
okay, even our vice that sometimes they say that she's not seen. She's one of the people that was the chairperson on the funding committee. With me, I believe that as a party, your work has to speak for itself. And my branch, North London, if anybody goes back, can I testify that it's become one of the strongest, one of the most credible, with the leader and the executives on board. And on the 7th, which is my birthday in October, yes, I pray that the members will look at my track record and give me the opportunity to be the vice because of the skill set I have. And I thank everybody for listening. And
Thank you. Thank you very much. You want a happy birthday.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Beatrice. I'm just mindful of time. Seth, are you able to unmute yourself so that you can have the floor for 10 minutes, and we'll come back to the question time.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, hello. We can hear you.
Yeah. Sorry, I haven't been able to. How do you call it?
Yeah, with the camera issue, that's fine. Just as long as the message is clear, we would be fine.
Yeah. My name is Mr. Seth Kweku Anderson. I'm a businessman, and I've been previously deputy treasurer for the chapter. My involvement in NDC UK activities started around 2007, 2008. At that time, Honorable Alex Segofe was the chairman, and I was involved in helping my constituency back home, my East, is helping the candidate with finance and everything to make sure that NDC came back to the power. Subsequently, I was parliamentary aspirant in 2005, and I've helped the party in diverse ways, including finance, going to Ghana to help, and many other things. Now, why do I want to contest? At the time, during 2008, 2007, 2008, the UK Ireland Chapter played a crucial role in ensuring that helping the party come back to power. And at that time, we were like the beacon, they were very much respected. As opposed to right now, we haven't been able to hold election for over a year now. And in a way, it's, how do you call it? It's put a dent on our image. And my aim is of contesting is I'm a mature person and a safe pair of hands that can help steer the chapter back to respectability, and so that we can become the beacon of diaspora chapters once again. I believe I have the experience based on my involvement in the past in chapter activities here and also in Ghana. I believe that with my involvement, as I have contested, as a parliamentary aspirant before. I know what it takes, when you're having elections in Ghana, the sort of things that our constituencies need, finances as well as human resource, because as the diaspora here, if we're able to mobilize our members to go in their numbers in 2024, to go and support either as through campaigning and even acting as polling agents, there's no way the MPP can bribe our members here, with small money so that they can get their way. We could make sure that we can, especially in places like Ashanti region where, our support base is we could mobilize our members across all the branches, so that if we can mobilize even over about 200 members who have volunteered to go back to Ghana to help during the 2024 elections, it will go on a very long way to put us back in the kind of respectability that we had. And also, if we are able to raise funds to help our party back home. Now, what are the skill sets I bring on the board? As a matured person with the experience that I have, I always promote unity. I have an ability to work with all members across the board. It doesn't matter who it is. All it matters is that whoever it is, we encourage each and every member to get on board rather than applying favoritism and all that. I have the skills to do conflict resolution so that if issues arise, we can iron it out and be able to move on. We need to encourage each and every member of this chapter to operate, to work to their potential, so that we could all help our party win. We need inclusiveness. Apart from unity, we need inclusiveness. We don't want a situation where only people who are we work with only people that we like or are close with. We try and work with each and every member. Any member that comes on board, we will make sure we're able to work with that member. But even above all, as a vice chair, I will work closely with my chairman to ensure that what we're going through now doesn't happen again. As soon as come next 4 years, our elections should just happen like that, which means that we have UK and Ireland, we have standing orders. We'll make sure we'll revise the standing orders and also revise the rules concerning elections, and which is endorsed by the international, IRG. So we don't wait when it's a month to election. That's when most branches are recruiting members in their numbers for them to come and vote. No, our focus should be recruiting members who are coming to work with the chapter, not just to come and vote and then 4 years later we will never see them again. So once we structure our standing order and it's been accepted, everybody knows. Let's say, for example, if the standing order says you should have been a member for at least 1 year before you vote, it means that even if elections is coming and you vote, you recruit, fine, we want members. But those members don't qualify to vote. if they are committed members, come the next 4 years, they'll be available to vote. So we don't have a situation where somebody say, I recruited somebody a few days to the deadline and the person hasn't been able to vote. So the person is unhappy. I mean, I believe that if you are...
1 minute to wrap up for us.
Yeah. So as a vice chair, I would work closely with my chairman to ensure that we don't go through this again, and that we're able to bring everybody on board for the chapter to regain its status. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Seth Anderson. Right. So that brings us to the end of those 10 minutes session. So we now have the question and answers time, which would just be another opportunity for both of them to expand a little bit more. Just a quick follow through. Sankofa, do you have any question on your part that you want to go first?
I have one for Mr. Anderson.
Oh, that's great. Go for it.
He mentioned that we could be looking at mobilizing people voluntarily out of their own volition to go and help in 2024. Yes, it's a good thing, but it's very expensive. Now, if anybody who is also fed up with the callous way at which the NPP is running the country and so would want to go, the question at the tail end of it is, when NDC comes to power, what is in it for them? I say this because I have had people come to me who would really want to go, because we all know, and many people know, even including the NPP themselves, know that the 2020 elections, the NDC didn't lose the elections. It was so from their machinations, and they did their calculations and realized, okay, if we hit them down at Chimanov, if we hit them down at maybe somewhere central, hit them down at Zabzuko, we'll be able to. Even that the numbers were not even adding up. They still ended up 137, 137. The EC has to come out with 3 or 4 or 5 numbers. It wasn't adding up, even their own figures of even machinating it. It tells you that we would need the right people, especially their strongholds. Tell you, anytime they've come to power, even genuinely, they had only come with about 2 regions when the regions were just 10. You see, it tells you that their stronghold doesn't even spread too much out. And these are some of the areas that we have to concentrate. Now, we will need people who are very genuine, who will not look away. People will not take 500 Ghana cedis from people like Woon to me and those unscrupulous guys that some of them have, who would go at any length to win power. So, yes, we would want our people to go who really understand that, listen, even if we're able to change the face of Ghana, come back to work, I know that my people are very much living in peace and very happy, and the economy is not as hard as it is. But the question will be, what is in it for them? The reason is, I've seen what other parties did to them, and now a lot of the people with them had regretted, and they think that all political parties are the same. If you think about it in that light, what will be in it for them, Mr. Anderson? Sorry, my question is a little long, but forgive me.
That's okay.
Thank you very much, Sankofa Etentedanso, for your question. For me, I go by this JFK, John F. Kennedy. There's a statement that says, ask what your party will give you, but what you give back to your party. So last year we go to Ghana on holidays. So what we will do is that,
sorry, sir. There is a little bit of noise in your background. Is this something you can work on for us? It's kind of like this crackling noise. Is it just our systems or something, microphone or something?
I'm not sure. I can also hear the noise.
Okay, that's fine. I thought it was coming from your end. That's okay then.
I can also hear the noise, but I don't know where it's coming from.
All right, go for it. Sorry about
that. So we should encourage our members to think that they want to contribute something to the party. And what I've even noticed in Ghana is that often when you go in to go and help, sometimes they can even twat you because they think if they give you the chance and you do it successfully, you get glory and whatever. But if we do this in conjunction with the party back home, they are facilitating it. It means that wherever they go and volunteer, they wouldn't encounter such problems. And by so doing, if they do it successfully, depending on what ambitions they have, because we all have different ambitions. Some want post, some want contracts, some also just want to see NDC get into power. So depending on whatever, their aim is, if it is possible, they can achieve that. But otherwise, the underlying issue should be that you are helping the party to come back to power. And by so doing, Ghana becomes better off. So the more people we encourage to take holiday around the election time, go to Ghana, whether it's 1 month, 2 weeks, 3 months, to help the party, all the better for our mother party, and also the UK Ireland Chapter and Ghana as a whole.
All right, thank you. Oh, Alfred, I'll leave the floor for you now. Though I have one question for Batty for Beatrice.
Okay.
So, but if you have any. Sorry, Alfred, if you can unmute yourself.
Damn it. Right. So there are two questions actually coming from Kofi Kula for Beatrice. So I'm just going to lump them up, Beatrice. So the first one is Kofi Kula just wants to know that what difference, looking back, what difference do you think you've brought to the NDC over the years that you have worked for the party? What have you brought to the NDC? So probably you would have outlined a couple, but if you just want to reiterate that for Kula. And he also wants to know that, I mean, everybody, if you work as a chair lady, you would have had some challenges over the period. And what are these challenges and what have you learned from them?
Okay, so what I have been able to do in the last 6 years that I was a chair lady was tackle challenges, made sure that I worked closely in unity with my executives, made sure that most of decisions that were made, it was decisive. I've always been motivated and passionate about the party because in everything that we did, the party has always been first. When the branch was at the brink, when the branch almost collapsed, I think it's not my executives and I, but one of the things that I did was I actually wrote a petition during that Thomas Kofi Kwache's time. Because when Ghana said they were going to close, they were going to dissolve, they didn't even say they were going to dissolve North London. I actually convinced my executives to write a petition to say that it wasn't going to happen. And that was in 2016, that we were not going to allow that to happen. And a year later, the branch started springing up. And we were not a full set of executives. So I've been able to mobilize, I've been able to be proactive, I've been able to be decisive, I've been able to look at the weaknesses, the strengths, the opportunities that we needed and the threats, and be able to strategize in a way that the branch has now stabilized. Now he says, Kofi says, with the challenges that I encountered in any organization, there's challenges, especially when you're dealing with different people on different mindsets and different experiences. But with my challenges, what I've learned from it is, they say what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And one of the things that I learned was I had to be patient. I had to be strategic. I had to be able to visualize what the outcomes were going to be. I needed to have a mission. My aims and objectives. I needed to actually make sure that my aims were to make sure that the branch stabilized. My objectives was to make sure that the members felt included, felt important, felt relevant, that they didn't feel as though anything what they felt was dismissed. And I did that with my executives. And I collaborated with Ghana in some of the decisions that we did in terms of going back home to go and help. Yes, I did do that sometimes when it comes to sending monies to support constituencies. I sent private monies. The branch came to a decision. We supported during the 2020, regardless of monies that we raised as a whole chapter. The branches and my executives managed to send money back home. So sometimes your challenges gives you a view of how things are and how to rectify them proactively and make sure that you actually get a result. Because when you have challenges and you don't actually tackle it from the root, you end up finding out that there's no point. It becomes catastrophic. But with everything that my executives and I decided, it was not a one person dictating. It was like getting everybody's view on board. And I realized that working as a unit and in unity was one of the things that actually held the branch together. And even still, I have a fantastic I've got a fantastic bond with my ex-executives and the executives now.
Thank you very much for that response. Sankofa, I think you did say you have a question for both of them. There are a couple, if there is a question that you can pose to both candidates and give them a minute each to respond, that would be great.
I think that it was a repeated question on yours, and it came to mine as well. So it was the same question about as a cheerleader, the challenges that she faced. Yes.
Okay. Well, let me just pick up this one. This is from Francis Aqua, and it's for both of you. What Francis is saying is that will you both agree with him that there is the need to have a council of elders in this chapter? It's just a yes or no, if you want to add anything, because when he came on the show last week, one of his pillars of conversation was that he will lead on the council of elders within the chapter. So he just wants to know if you are going to be the vice. If he gets the note and you get the note as well, then you will be a vice under him. Do you both agree that there should be council of elders? I'll start with you, Beatrice.
Yes, I definitely do. And the reason why I do is that when you look at the American artists in R&B, they always give homage to the people that came before them and the people that actually made sure that the foundation in which they built, they get the experience and the knowledge. So that is, I think, one of the greatest things. And I think I did actually suggest that to the woman organizer, and she's actually done that with the women's wing, whereby she has brought on all those people, all those elderly people before us that were, and then we talk about the ex-vice, Beatrice Demena. She was one of the pioneers. We've got Mary Sabute. She was one of the pioneers. So yes, the Council of Elders is very, very needed, because without their sense of intellect, sometimes it leads us astray, and we need their wisdom as well. So yes, I do agree on that.
Thank you. I hope Francis Aqua is listening. I'll just pose the same question to Seth Anderson. The question was very simple. Do you agree that there should be Council of Elders?
Yeah, it's a good idea. Our Council of Elders can share their experiences with new executives, and that can only be good.
Thank you. Right. So I hope that is being picked up by Chairman Aqua. So there we have it. For me, it's just, I know that being a vice is always one of those things you're working directly under your boss. But we do know that, of course, the chapter, we've had our own issues, and moving forward, there will be the need, the strongest need, in my view, to build a really solid foundation. And the more important thing is to reinstate that unity within the party. So I'm putting it before both of you. What are your strategies that you will use to bring the party, to bring that unity to the party once this election is all over? Because you both agree with me, there has been very serious division. We're not here to discuss them. But moving forward, there will be the need for us to reunite the party. What are your strategies that you're going to be using to bring us back together and push the agenda 2024? If I start with Seth.
Well, to make sure that we, how do you call it, get unity. We, as a vice chairman, I have to utilize my skills in conflict resolution to make sure that any potential conflict that arises, we solve it in a fair manner so that there is understanding, so that we could resolve it. The other thing is inclusiveness. If you have an idea, if you have an inclusive mindset, it means that anybody who wants to work, you bring them on board, and you can resolve your differences and work together to achieve the aim, that the goal that we all set for ourselves.
Okay, thank you for that. Beatrice?
Okay, with me, I feel that one of the things that, to be able to get to that point, everybody's opinion and everybody's voice has to be heard. And one of the things that we forget is sometimes we have to find the root of what the conflict is. Because sometimes it might be lack of communication. It could be lack of understanding. It could be the fact that somebody feels that the opinion is not actually being valued. So you need to figure out. That's why sometimes they say they have feedback. You need to find out what the causes are, and until you find what the causes are, you cannot create that sense of unity. And one thing that I think we still have to stipulate is, because we have a common goal, which is the party, and us winning the 2024. I think those are some of the stuff that there are things that sometimes people have got plans, people have got things that their ideas that they feel they are not going to be given the chance to pursue. So I think if you encapsulate all that and you discuss that, you give them a forum whereby everybody, that's what they say, everybody can agree to disagree or have a valid discussion, not a dismissive discussion. It makes it easy to break the gap. But if we smooth over stuff, that is where there's always cracks. So with me, I believe by making sure that we go in depth, give everybody that chance to air out their differences and come to a proper resolute, we'll be able to build on the structures of unity and be able to work forward and build up this chapter, because that's what we need.
Thank you very much, both of you, for that response. And like I've always said, we've made another milestone today. It is a brilliant sort of opportunity, and it's good to have both of you on the show. But before you go, it's nice for me to give you the opportunity to, give you what's the pitch. We go into polls on the 7th. Once we get there, I definitely have a vote. So just convince me. 1 minute. Why would I want to go put my vote in Patriots or Seth Anderson?
What's the question again, please?
So the question is just a pitch. Why would I go to the polls on the 7th and put my vote on you? That's it. Just convince me. 1 minute, and I will start with Beatrice.
Okay. Thank you so much. The reason why I would want you to vote for me, not only do I come with the experience, I have got the leadership skills, I have got the vision, I am proactive. I support the party in everything that I do. Regardless of me being in a position or not currently, I still continue to work for the party. I do not prioritize myself. I always make sure, and I always say that if we are looking for 2024 or we want to win 2024, what are the main objectives? The main objectives is to make sure that the party is strengthened. That is where that is my goal. And that is one of the reasons why North London, I made sure that it was stabilized. Because until you go through and you build a legacy, I have worked with all my executives in this chapter. I have worked with them. I've worked with all the chairmen. I have worked with anybody that is willing to be selfless. And I believe I have the skill set. I've got the vision. I've got the proactiveness. I empower people. I empower leaders. I'm able to identify people to move the party forward. And I believe by that gives me the fresh view of how this party should move forward. And I think that is one of the reasons why we should look at me. Not just because I'm a woman, but because I can do the job.
Thank you very much, Beatrice. I hope the listeners, like I said, I posed a question, but they always say the best person wins on the day. They will make their judgment based on what you have been able to put out there. But really, huge thank you for coming on the show. I will just give Seth the opportunity to give us his last message and why we should vote for him. Thank you.
Yeah, I believe I'm the best person to be the vice chair because I have got a wider set of skill sets and experience, both in Ghana. I've been actually involved in politicking in Ghana and also within the UK Ireland Chapter. So with both skill sets, I have the unique understanding of what our party in Ghana needs, and also I have the matured approach that would ensure that I'll bring all our members here together to bring back our respectability. So if you want UK and Ireland Chapter to be the beacon of the diaspora chapters, I'm the one to vote for as your vice chair.
Thank you very much, both of you. Thank you for availing yourself on the show. Just before you go, I need to let you know our listeners or viewers have been doing some really, really good, interactive messages, and I'll just let you into one or two of them if you haven't. This is coming from Josh. Josh Malcolm says, awesome submission from both Comrade Seth and Madam Chair Lady Beatrice Asante. So again, there are people are judging, people are definitely interacting. So well done to both of you. I've got Oba TV is saying, good submission, Mr. Seth. Please, you outlined the strategies, and we just hope we wish you all the best. We also have Conrad Zumba said, another brilliant performance from Comrades Seth and Beatrice. Kudos to both of you. Looking forward to working with you both. So again, that is a brilliant submission there. My sincerest gratitude to all the aspirants for tonight and to the branch organizers and moderators and HYTV. This is from Conrad. So there has been some really positive messages coming on. Kofi Ampoma just says, excellent from both of you. So again, just well done. And we as moderators, Sankofa would agree with me. It's always a delight to have you on the show, especially we know it is a busy schedule. Everybody is doing something, but you've done your best. We wish you well. Sankofa, is there anything you want to add to?
There's nothing more apart from thanks, and thanks. Yeah. We thank them so much for availing themselves for the program.
Absolutely.
It's been very wonderful 2 weeks, and it tells you which direction we're going, and it tells you that the chapter is going in the right direction.
Yeah.
And we are very grateful for the input. And Alfred, I've enjoyed working with you so much, and I've really learned a lot from your professionalism. God bless you.
No, you are wonderful. Before I usually go, I have my thing I do. Just, it's sometimes when you come on these shows and you listen to the diverse sort of ideas, the number of things you pick up, and I'm just looking at my board here and tell you what, the words that we have: commitment, champion, model chapter, we've got Beatrice and Co, resilience, thinking about prioritizing, selfless. It's just running through the board. Inclusivity, unity. Everybody is talking about these keywords. And in the end, you are asking yourself, if these are not just mere rhetorics, and we're actually going to take them on board, what a chapter that we're going to be able to do moving forward.
What a chapter.
And for me, that is the strap line. So you've got it there. You guys out there who are interacting with the platform, you are the judges. And in the end, on the 7th, we always say the best man or the best woman wins. And just make sure you vote for user the people who you think actually have delivered and will deliver and will move the chapter forward. But hey, everybody, you've been brilliant. Well done. And your questions, if we haven't read your questions, we really sincerely apologize. But these are live and they will be picked up. Comrades will also be able to respond to you. But thank you so much from me, Alfred Mwene, and my co-moderator, Sangofat the Dancer. Good night.
Love, I wanna get another one. I go take and do it in love.